watching 7 River Sports here on KQEG. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, into wellness, into fitness. Today, the spotlight shines bright on UW-La Eagle Volleyball, one of the best programs in the Midwest by far. Well, head coach Amber Dunn, hello. Marisa Johnson, and Halle Barnabo. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
We'll start with you, Coach. Welcome back to La Crosse. But for those of you that aren't sure what I'm talking about, let's kind of go back and talk about your journey back to La Crosse.
Yeah, so for the last 2 years, I've been in New York coaching at a SUNY school. And the opportunity at UW-La Crosse opened up, and it's something that I found as a dream opportunity, and so I looked into it, and here I am.
But here you are, but you were in Stevens Point, by the way, too. Mm-hmm. But you were at Viterbo, because I remember you then working for a guy by the name of, what is it again now? Ryan DeLong, who's a friend of mine, and you also coached one of the power teams and traveling teams.
Yep.
But your resume was impressive. But prior to those impressive resume stops, you grew up in Hammond, Wisconsin.
Hancock.
Yep. Hancock, is that near Hammond? Hancock. And you certainly were an athlete there.
Yeah, just a small town in the middle of nowhere. Started, I guess, my dream of volleyball, and I had some success and continued at Viterbo with Ryan, and spent a couple years coaching after with Ryan, and then went to Stevens Point and spent a couple years there, and have just kind of kept moving up the ladder.
So you finally came to your good senses and came back to La Crosse, and we're certainly glad that you are, because as we tape this show, by the way, 14-6 overall, 3-0 in the conference, tied with Whitewater and Eau Claire, I believe.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about that. But Marisa Johnson. Now, everyone knows about you because you're a junior from Spencer.
I am.
And I'm very familiar with the quality athletic program at Spencer. Let's go back down memory lane and talk about your high school days.
My high school, what would you like to know?
Your high school sports?
Well, Spencer's a very small town, but I loved the community atmosphere. We all knew each other and we all got along. As far as sports, I believe we had a great program, and I played with my sisters alongside of me for 3 years, and that was really exciting to do for all 3 sports that I participated in, so that was awesome.
So go back a little bit deeper into your past. So who got you excited about sports and gave you the idea, hey, maybe someday I can be a collegiate athlete?
Oh, it was probably definitely my sisters. I looked up to them a lot growing up. I was definitely kind of their little shadow. Whenever they did something, I kind of followed along and did it as well. Whenever they would go to softball or volleyball practice in high school, I would tag along, and then they would actually have me jump in and participate with them. So that was also really fun.
And Halle Barnabo from River Falls.
Yes, sir.
Been up there refereeing quite a bit. Interesting, when I read a little bit about you, you started, you must have been quite an athlete in high school. You can talk about that because you started at UWGB, Division I.
I did.
So your high school must have been a successful career, huh?
It was funny because I actually was found the summer going into my senior year of high school. I was really, really excited to kind of look into college sports, and I'm an only child, so I didn't have a lot of opportunities or know really exactly where I wanted to go. So I had a couple programs that I was looking into, and Duluth and Green Bay were a couple programs I was really interested in. They were higher level divisions, so I thought I'd maybe look into those and go to a couple camps. And at the moment, Coach Michaela was the coach at UWGB, and I went to a specialized camp, and she pulled me from the group and just said that she was very interested in the kind of player I was and what I had to offer, so she offered me a spot, and that's where I made my commitment for my freshman year.
Multiple sports in high school?
Yeah, I kind of went back and forth. I played basketball for my freshman year, and then I played volleyball all 4 years, and I did softball for 3, and then I did track my senior year. So kind of a little bit of everything.
Good, I guess so. Only child, spoiled only child, got all those opportunities.
Yeah, kind of. I really enjoy kind of taking the experience out of things. So I would say I never felt like I was given all these opportunities with a silver spoon. I feel like I was definitely taught to work hard for everything that I do, and both of my parents had the dreams of playing college sports, but they never got the opportunity to, so I really wanted to take that into my hands and really make that an opportunity for myself.
Well, pretty special to be a college athlete. Pretty special to be a college coach, to a head coach. Out in New York, before we went on camera, you talked about like getting hired in August, a few days before practice started. So you had to relocate from the east to the Midwest. Why did you pursue this job?
Well, ultimately, I think the biggest thing is this is home. Having the opportunity to come back to the town where I went to college, and I had an opportunity to compete. For me, getting back here, being with my family, getting an opportunity to compete, obviously, against Ryan DeLong at Viterbo and continue to grow the sport of volleyball in the place that I can call home is a big perk. The obvious piece is that, coaching in the WIAC is probably one of the most prestigious opportunities in Division III for me, and this was kind of a dream that I had always had after I had spent some time at Stevens Point. It's a place I really feel like I have an opportunity to do a lot of winning and feel like I can help us win a national championship one day. And so that's what brought me here.
Take us back to day one when you called your team into the meeting room and you said, "My name is Coach Amber Dunn. This is what I expect from you." Take us through that.
Yeah, so our first initial meeting was actually via video because I was still in New York. All sorts of crazy technology challenges, but I think that was the moment where it was nice for everyone to see each other face to face. Our first opportunity face to face in person, there were a lot of interesting faces, a lot of curious minds thinking, what's next, what's coming in, what's going to be different, what are we going to do this season to help us be as successful as we can be with a new coach.
How about goals for the season? You followed some good coaches in the past, but volleyball at UWL has always been strong. What are you bringing in different than perhaps your predecessors?
Yeah, I think the one thing that sets me aside from my predecessors is that culture and character are really important to me. And so while winning and losing is obviously a big part of the job, for me, I want to win with good kids and kids who can bring more than just being a good student athlete to the table. And so we really spend a lot of time talking about that, talking about personalities and how we can mesh and how we can be better as people and not just as volleyball players.
Well, again, both of you personify the high expectations academically of UWL, starting with Marisa. Dean's List all 4 years.
Yes, both semesters.
Expected by your parents too, I presume.
Yes.
So you're a student first, an athlete second, and a major in therapeutic recreation. Talk about that.
Like my major in therapeutic rec? I love therapeutic rec. It's something that my guidance counselor from high school got me into. It's mainly just about helping people with various abilities and making them stronger in their ways that they love to do and their interests. Yeah.
Where may that take you?
I want to be an occupational therapist in long term. So working with people either with cognitive disabilities, mental disabilities, or just physical disabilities in general, and then getting them back to what they love to do and everything like that.
So now you're doing some of that at a part-time basis to kind of whet your appetite and get yourself. Are you still convinced you want to do that after your part-time work? Yes,
I'm currently a CNA also at a local nursing home here in La Crosse, and there I just help the elderly with daily activities of life and everything like that. And I love getting to know them as well and also helping them. So. Well,
and this girl next to me, Halle, doesn't take a back seat to you, Marisa, sorry, but her academics as strong as, I'm just dumbfounded with the intelligence level of UWL athletes. We had some football players on, and recently in a salutatorian and majors that were incredible, like yours, Halle, nuclear medicine technologist.
Yes.
Oh. In case you're wondering, that wasn't my major. So, talk us through that. What do you need to do to pursue that? Your class schedule, and why you chose that direction? Because that is incredible.
So I knew coming into college that I wanted to do something with health science, but I wanted something that a lot of people didn't know about. And Nuke Med Tech was something that I feel like even when I looked at it, I was like, I have no idea what that was. And so I found a lot of interest in it, and I researched, and I found out that it's diagnostic imaging. It's a program at UW-La. It's a 2-year program. It has 1 year of classes and then a year internship at an affiliated hospital in the program. And so I'm currently in the program right now in my courses for on campus, and then we'll have a 1-year internship off campus and then hopefully get a job. I don't have any grad school or anything post-college, so I'll graduate. I'm a little late in the program. I'm a 1 year afterwards, so I'll be a 5th-year senior when I graduate. But I hope to get a job right after my internship.
Well, in case you're wondering, there are 2 major medical centers in this city. They probably would love to have you. One's called Mayo, the other one's called Gunderson.
Yeah, there's definitely a program at Gunderson that I've looked into, and there's also Mayo through Rochester, and a couple other ones that I haven't really had a lot of time. We just had our internship night the other night, so I just learned a lot about the different programs. And it's funny that Marisa's mom is actually a Nuke Med Tech at Marshfield Clinic, and so I got to talk to her, and she's where I got a lot of my information from about the program and the major itself.
Interesting. Yeah, quite a connection there. Well, we're going to step aside just for a minute. When we come back, more with UW-La Volleyball right after this.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports again. The spotlight today in UW-La Volleyball. Currently 3-0 in the conference, 14-6 overall. Head coach Amber Dunn, Marisa Johnson, and Halle Barnabo. Coach, one of the slogans at UW-La, and it's actually on the scoreboard on the football field, is champions in school, in sports, and in life. You use that when you talk to your athletes about life lessons?
Absolutely. I think it's funny that is the slogan here at UW-La, because I believe that's my slogan as a coach. It's important to me that we're having success on and off the volleyball court and as individuals, not just as a team. I'd like to have student athletes who are going out and they're willing to help people in their majors, and if somebody can't open a door, we hold the door open for them, or whatever it is. The simple things of saying please and thank you, those things are important to me just as much as being successful on the volleyball court.
Marisa, share life lessons that you have learned being on a platform, being on a pedestal, because that's what athletes are, and you have to accept that if you have that gift. Yes?
Yes.
What life lessons have you learned?
I think that one of the biggest things for me is no matter what obstacle there is, you can always find a way to get over it and get past it. And I'm still working on that personally, but there's always a way to get around it and move past that.
Have you ever had some obstacles, setbacks, disappointments, things that have really, you wonder if you can move on?
Yeah, personally, sometimes I struggled in games, and I'm a little my mind kind of takes over sometimes. So, but that's an obstacle I need to move around and get over, and I'm still working on that. So
the mental is to the physical as 4 is to 1.
What?
The mental aspect is 4 times more important than the physical.
Oh yes, yes, for sure.
And but like most athletes, including weekend warriors like me, you're hard on yourself, aren't you?
Yes.
Too hard?
I think so, and I think Coach agrees too.
Well, it's good to have high expectations. And speaking of high expectations, Halle, you have them because you're a leader. You're in the SAC group.
Yes, I am.
And you're on a pedestal, and you were in high school. and you're on a platform and people are looking at you and did look and model themselves after you. And not everybody can handle that. Can you?
I've definitely taken the role as making sure that student athletes are always looked in a positive light. I know not in a lot of ways people on campus who aren't student athletes, they kind of see that we're given opportunities that aren't given like equally to the student body, and I think that I definitely try to work how we have so much time that we have to put towards our sport and towards our school, that we have just as many obligations, but we're just doing it in the light of the school, and we're doing it to represent our school, and that we are just the same and working just as hard as our student body, so trying to make it so that that pedestal is not as large.
The most difficult and disappointing thing for an athlete is to sacrifice the gift. You've been given a gift. And don't sacrifice it. And you're not. You're showing that you're using the gift that you were given. That's being a college athlete. Well, Coach, you had a challenging weekend. You were 2-1 at Wartburg. And as we tape the show here again, this week you're at UW-Eau Claire.
They're actually here
You're
with us.
hosting UW-Eau Claire. Make sure you get over there and watch, by the way, and check out the schedule on the website. And the schedule ahead, then 4 conference games, and you end the season with the WIAC tournament on October 31st. All right, where are we going to see the rest of the way?
Yeah, we've got 5 total matches remaining in the month of October, leading up to the conference tournament. We're currently 3-0. I think we're just starting to kind of kick on all cylinders. I'm excited to see how they respond after a tough weekend. Finished 2-2, losing to the number 11th team in the country, Gustavus Adolphus, and then another tough matchup against Luther. All great competition, but another opportunity for us to get better. So looking forward to Wednesday night. I think Eau Claire is definitely going to be a tough challenge for us. I'm very excited to be back in the gym competing in front of our home court. But most importantly, I'm excited to find a way to get better every single day we're in the gym.
And I'm sure you are. Rapid fire drill. You know what that is, don't you? A rapid fire volleyball drill.
Yeah.
Rapid fire drill. Here's a rapid fire drill. How would you characterize or define leadership, Marisa?
I think for me, leadership is always finding a way to make other people better and bring out the best in others.
Philosophy, you're a creative person.
Yes.
And your philosophy of life sort of resembles that.
Yes.
Which is?
Oh gosh, I think I forgot. It's
not being afraid of failure is part of it, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
So taking risks, taking gambles.
Yes.
Have you done that in your life?
Yes, I have. I'm not always the person to do it, but when I do, I'm always excited about it, and it always turns out well. And if it doesn't, I always learn from that opportunity that I got.
Is every day good for you?
Yes.
What about the days that aren't?
They're still good. I look back on bad days, and I think about it. There's always good in that day that came out of it. It may not be from me, but it's from others as well. Others that have good days as well.
You like that saying?
Yes.
Do you have a blueprint on that saying? Is that you?
Yes.
What do you think of you? That's not every day is good, but there's good in every day.
Yes.
Good for you. Good philosophy. Our viewers can probably maybe, if you write that down or call me at the station, I'll get a copy to you. But there's one of my favorite authors just passed away recently. You know who that is?
Maya Angelou.
That's right. And she wrote an incredible book, by the way, called I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Did you know that?
Yep, read the book. I have it in my apartment, actually.
What does that mean? I know why the caged bird sings.
Because they look for an opportunity in every day, whether they're caged or free. To me, that's at least how I see it.
You ever been caged?
Yes and no. There are opportunities every day that I like to think that I'm free and that the cages are the obstacles that I have to go through, whether that's school, whether that's sport, whether that's something going on with my family. I think that what we're going through doesn't define us, whether that's the cage or being free, but it's how we represent ourselves going through those things.
You may trod in the dust, you may stumble, you may have obstacles in the dirt, but still, like dust, you will rise.
Yes, sir.
Why do you like that?
I think, I don't know, I personally, I've loved that ever since I was in the 7th grade. That's been my favorite saying. It's anything that I go through, no matter how hard, and no matter how it impacts me, my family, my friends, or the situation that I'm in, it won't bring me down. No matter if I have a hard time, that I will still wake up tomorrow and take advantage of all the opportunities that are given to me.
Resiliency?
Mm-hmm.
Does that describe you?
Yeah.
What's something else we don't know about you?
I don't know. I don't know. I really enjoy talking to people, and I think that something that people don't know about me is that I'm always eager to have a conversation. And like we talked about previously, I'm really interested in nutrition, and I like to look further into things that I'm not very knowledgeable about. I'm very curious, and so I like learning new things and learning about new opportunities in life.
So it's amazing, your athletes, and as I walk around campus, the nutrition level, the fitness level of students is remarkable. And you personify that. And Coach, you personify that, and I'm sure that's something you talk about all the time. Nutrition, training, making good decisions.
Absolutely. We spend a lot of time talking about putting the right things in to get the right results. We spend time thinking about, you know, the amount of time before matches to eat the right stuff to get the right results. But most importantly, doing our best to take care of ourselves, body and mind, all in one.
Leadership. You're a resource for leadership. And how do you show that in your role as a student athlete, as a senior? How do you show that?
I would say that the way that I show leadership is representing my group as a whole, no matter if that's my team, no matter if that's my classmates, no matter if that's my friends. It's one of those things that a good leader is one that represents the unit as a whole, and I think doesn't take the title as a leader too seriously, that they are the ones who are, I don't know, using everybody's words and putting them into one goal.
Marisa, you define leadership as unlocking potential in others. How do you do that?
I think, just like I said before, seeing what the other person has to offer and then growing off of that, or going off of it. I think everybody offers, everybody has leadership in their own ways, and then building from that, everybody can be a leader.
And you are a leader, and you're both leaders, and you've been tremendous guests. We appreciate you being on the show again, Coach Amber Dunn, Marisa Johnson, and Halle Barnabo. Well, the season is getting kind of to an important part of the conference race with a match on Wednesday and then continuing until the WIAC tournament. So we wish you the best, and we'll be out there. I hope our viewers can watch at Mitchell Hall, check the schedule, and support our Eagles. So thanks for being on the show, guys.
Thank you
very much.
All right. We'll be back with some film clips, some highlights of high school football games right after this.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
Who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Two big games this weekend, and our cameras are there covering both. First, Rick and Carl were at Earl Seton Field on Friday for a game delayed for 2 hours by rain and lightning. Stewartville versus the La Crosse Lancers. Looking back to 2016, Stewartville defeated La Crosse by a punishing 45-24 defeat. Well, this game was not characterized quite the same with a dominating performance. However, the rematch ultimately ended up the same way, with Stewartville grinding out a solid victory over La Crosse, 14-0. The defeat makes it one more game for La Crosse without a win. The victory gives Stewartville a 4-2 record. The two teams have their sights set high on raising those records in their upcoming game. La Crosse will square off against Lake City on Friday. This will be their second home game in a row. And as for Stewartville, it will be their game, a big game, at Rochester Lourdes, Friday at 7 p.m. The Crescent coming out on the losing end, but having a solid defensive performance. The Lancers, their best defense game of the season. Well, Art and I were at Onalaska, a Cooley Conference game. Luther versus Viroqua, a game also interrupted for 2 hours by rain and lightning. First quarter started with Ryan Hanna, a 2-yard run. 6-0 first quarter. Second quarter, younger brother Tyler Hanna, a 1-yard run, and just like that, 16-0 at half. The third quarter belonged to Ryan Hanna. 2 touchdowns, one of 43 yards, and the other 21-yard run. 32-0 after 3. Fourth quarter, final TD of the game, Ryan Hanna on a 5-yard run. Game ball to Ryan Hanna, 18 carries, 225 yards, and 4 TDs. Game ball for the Luther Knights goes to senior Noah Motzke, 15 yards, but numerous tackles from his linebacker spot and a big part of the special teams unit. Viroqua moves to 2-2 and 4-4 and at GET on Friday. A big game there. Luther 0-4 in the Cooley and 2-6 overall closes out the regular season at Westby on Friday night. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's show. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping you will have an active and a healthy week.